Oh my god.
And we should be live. Let me go ahead and check. Yes, we are in fact live. Awesome. All right. Hello, everyone. Ace here. Welcome to the live stream. I'm joined today with returning guest Doctor Kalkyl.
Chain.
Thank you for being on, Kalkyl. And today we are back with some more Star Wars Empire. So, it's been a while since we've covered some Star Wars Empire because, admittedly, I've been trying to get through the High Republic stuff as quickly as possible, so basically as quickly as it comes out, more or less. And unfortunately, there are 3 comic book series that are set in the High Republic that are going on right now, so yay. But anyways, we are of course back with something actually good now that we are back with Star Wars Empire. Siege says hello everyone. Hello Siege. Horus says pops up. Gonna be a bit late on my end today because I'm getting the pasta done. But at least this comic is not the High Republic, so I won't miss a train wreck. Yeah. Nathan X2000 says Horus save some pasta for me. Indeed. I hope everyone has had a good Christmas. I had an alright one, I think, and I ended up getting some more good news with regards to Battlefield 1918. So you guys are familiar. So I already mentioned this in the announcement, but you guys know that ModDB was holding a voting contest for best mod of 2023. Kalkyl, do you know? Did you know that ModDB was holding a voting contest for the best mod of 2023?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they did. And Battlefield 1918 actually did so well, we made 10th place for Mod of the Year. Which, considering I think it's 20,000 different mods that were competing, that's...
Oh, shit. That's a lot, though.
Yeah.
So that has a very good rating.
Yeah, I'd say we did pretty well on that. The 2023 was a really good year for 1918, thanks to the 3.4 release and also the 3.4B release. Siege says congrats. Thank you very much, Siege. And yeah, I think that is a good... so yeah, that is some good news, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and... Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what we end up adding next year as well. I know there's a few things that we weren't quite able to make with the 3.4 release now, but we have all pretty much lined up for the next major update, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But anyways, getting back to the topic at hand, let's go ahead and get right into some Star Wars Empire, shall we? Believe the last issue was dealing with the battle, was dealing with the destruction of the first Death Star. So, let's go ahead and carry on. Carida, shortly after the Battle of Yavin. No hint of the unexpected rebel victory has been allowed to trickle down to the rank and file of the Empire's vast army. As far as the officers and soldiers in the Emperor's service know, the hand that guides the fate of the galaxy remains unshaken and strong. For these men, the power they serve is the ultimate expression of order in a universe that would otherwise fall to chaos. Every aspect of their daily routine is structured, as precise and as clean as the surgical procedure. It is the Emperor's will that order prevail, and so it shall be. At least, that's what they are taught in the Imperial Academies. Mardun, a jungle world. In practice, things are rarely as elegant as they are in theory, as Lieutenant Janek Sunbur has discovered. But then, that's just one more piece of Sunbur's life that has turned out differently than he'd anticipated. He'd hoped to be a pilot, one of the glamour boys of the Empire, but though he is an above-average pilot, his skills are not up to Imperial standards. Rather than face the humiliation of returning home a failure, he has opted for the infantry. He is sure his friends, who plan to follow him to the academy, wouldn't understand, just as he is sure that they will make great pilots. But the route he has chosen has given him discipline and self-respect. He is sure that it will, eventually, provide him with a respected position within the Empire and society, something he could never hope for back home. His dedication to the Emperor's service has paid off. He has made officer rank in less than a year. It has been hard, dirty work, but he counts it as worthwhile. Still, not a day goes by that he doesn't think of his friends, and the easier path they must have. Imagine thinking that being a TIE fighter pilot is the easier path. That's some perspective for you. To be fair, though, yeah, I can see.
It's still better than the Imperial Army, which this isn't, though, so lucky him. These are the Stormtroopers, which are a different branch, if I recall correctly. Either way, I'm taking the commander.
Okay.
That's it, Sunba. Keep your men moving. Don't fall behind now.
Yes, sir, Captain Gage. The hardest part of the past year, thinks Sunbar, has been dealing with Captain Gage. Though barely older than Sunbar himself, Gage's wealthy background and family connections have put him on a fast track to command. Even in this oppressive green hell, privilege and rank have their benefits. Sunbar quickly puts such thoughts away. Putting one foot in front of the other is the only way he will reach his destination, and he cannot change an accident of birth. Skrunk.
What's the problem, Lieutenant?
The Juggernaut is high-centered on a boulder, sir.
It was a lieutenant. My mistake. Lieutenant Sunba, come here.
Sir?
What do you think you're doing, Sunba?
Helping my men, sir.
Your job is to direct your men, not dirty your hands with their toil. As an officer, you should be better than this, regardless of your actual background. Now, get this vehicle moving.
Sunbar rankles from Gage's chastisement. Gage has made a career out of putting forth the least amount of effort possible. But Sunba knows that all duty is sacrifice, and in the Emperor's service, the sacrifice of sweat is the least that could be asked of him. Alright, so what do you think so far on this one?
Seems to have set up its premise well so far. Also,
I agree.
It seems that your, issues from before are not present.
Yep.
Anymore.
Good to hear. So, for those who don't know, apparently we were having some weird roboting issues with regards to my voice, at least as far as Kalkyl could hear. I could hear him clear, but he couldn't hear me very well, and I don't know what that was. So, but it seems like I do
know now, actually, but I'm not gonna bring it up because it's not important.
Okay. Ura says, did I miss much? Not too much, I don't think. Ura says, look, this comic is proof that it doesn't mean if you give your car a nuclear engine, mud is still going to screw you over that, and not all Imperials are assholes, unlike in certain media. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, a lot of X-Wing Rogue Squadron has actually done a good job building up the fact that not all Imperials are assholes as well. That seems to be a reoccurring theme.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense given the fact that a lot of Rebel pilots started out in the Imperial Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like a lot of the Rebels themselves were veterans of the Empire. Funny how that works.
Including some of its greatest, starship designers.
Alright. You want to voice the commander as well?
Talking to myself? No thank you.
Well, I mean, I could. All right, fine. Do all of your junior officers obey as well as Sunbar?
Commander? What, Samba? Wait, hold on. Oh, who is that? The same guy?
That's another officer there, different one.
All right, I guess I'll take that guy. I've seen it before. A young officer will disregard protocol in order to integrate himself to his superiors. It's nothing but grandstanding.
I think Lieutenant Sunbar's efforts are commendable, Commander Frickett. He has his priorities straight. The mission comes first. Perhaps you two should join him. It would set a good example for the troops.
Certainly, General Siring, sir.
Oh no, the officers have to work! What the hell is this?
How strange. That's not what my job description says. It says commander. It means I command. I'm not supposed to do menial tasks. Are you implying I'm supposed to have some kind of connection to my troops? Silly.
Siege says almost like the word rebel actually means something, lol.
Lol.
Aura says matter not mean. Rebel meant something. Nowadays it is like Yahtzee, thrown around with no context. But the two officers are rescued from exertion and embarrassment. That's it. That's got it. Everybody mount up. All right. Ugh! Stand your ground, Squad 1. Open fire on those treetops. Squad 2, direct your fire at the lower canopy and walk it up to the Squad 1's targets.
Gotta fucking commend these frog tree creatures for being able to throw a wooden spear with enough force to penetrate stormtrooper armor.
Just when you thought the Ewoks weren't embarrassing enough. Ah, well. So it looks like they succeeded in driving them off. Oh well. Cease fire. Get a medic for this man. That was fast thinking, Sunbar. Good work. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. What was that all about? I was told the Amanin weren't hostile.
I do the pilot?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, I can't explain it. I've been stationed on Manduin for 2 cycles now. The natives are primitive, but peaceful. That is, except for...
Except for what?
They fight these ritual battles called taxitos, but only amongst themselves, between different tribes.
Well, that seems to have changed. Commander Frickett, get this column moving. I want a full guard deployed.
You have the general. Get the wounded on board. Captain Gage, deploy your full squads. Lieutenant Sunber, your squad takes point.
Ura says, savages, people, load the laser muskets. Let's show these natives what for, Talio. Siege says, impressive, they killed one. Wait, he's just wounded, all good. He'll walk it off because he's a badass. Slowly, squad by squad, vehicle by vehicle, the column lurches into motion, like a massive beast rising from slumber. All eyes are turned to the treetops and the shadows beside the path. Except for Sunbars. So the rock they ran over probably was some sort of ritualistic rock.
I'm wondering if it represents this being some kind of a graveyard or a ritual battlefield, based on what they said before.
Could be either or.
Anyways, I think that's I think that's Captain whatever his name was.
Yep, that's the captain.
Yeah. Never seen a rock before? Move it, Sunbear.
Yes, sir. At midday, the sparse trail they followed meanders out of the jungle and into one of the vast rolling plains that dot the surface of Marathon. They discover they aren't the only ones using the paths. Blasters are gripped in readiness, but the gigantic Coronatoths lumber by, unheeding of the humans and the vehicles. Blind to the real danger, the column marches on. The sun is a torch, the waves of humidity rising up from the grassy plain are almost a physical obstruction. His stormtroopers' cooling systems whine in protest, and for the first time in his short career, Sunbear envies them their cumbersome armor. It's almost sundown when they come within sight of their destination, a mining outpost at the base of a rocky plateau. Though the settlements on Marathon are small, they still require Imperial oversight. The infantry goes where it is ordered. Only in this case, the infantry has arrived too late. Spread out, search for survivors.
You heard the general? Actually, wait, hold on, no. Yes. Yes, that's the him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's him, alright.
Yeah, that's him too.
There's no sign of any surviving miners, sir. And look at this.
A planet borer. It's been shot full of blaster holes. The natives are not only hostile, but they've armed themselves with the miners' weapons.
Pretty sure that was
Sergeant, secure the perimeter. By the book. Half the squad's constructing defenses, the other half on guard. That's your character, the captain there.
I thought you'd missed the trooper.
Oh yeah, the trooper, yeah, you can voice the trooper.
Yes, Lieutenant. That's not how you say that. Whatever. Not so fast, Sunbear. You're forgetting your place. Let's see what the general has to say.
It's all right, Captain. Lieutenant Sunbear has the right idea. But the men have marched all day. If we're going to be in a fight, I want them rested. For tonight, just construct a small redoubt against the cliff. We'll worry about building a proper wall in the morning. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's Sunbear. I know.
Later.
I think we can sleep soundly tonight, General. The natives should be fools to attack us. Would be fools to attack us. We have open fields of fire before us, and the cliff protecting us from an assault from behind. I believe Commander Frickett's correct, sir. Tomorrow, once the outer perimeter is established, the Ammonin will see the folly of further hostilities and abandon their little insurrection.
I take it from your expression, Sunbar, that you don't agree with the commander and the captain's assessment of the situation. Sir, it's not my place to question my superiors, sir. Indulge me, Lieutenant. It's always instructive to hear additional points of view, wouldn't you say, Commander?
Absolutely, General. Come, Sunbar, share with us your wisdom.
Well, sir, since you asked, even if we had time to build an A-class fortress, we don't have the men to defend it. We're stretched thin now, and we'll be stretched thinner once we establish the new perimeter. Shall I go on, sir?
Of course, you Lieutenant.
Sunburn knows that he is playing with fire, and that he will likely suffer tomorrow for what he says tonight. But the general has asked his opinion, and the chance to show up Frickett engage is too good to ignore. As for how little or how large this insurrection may be, we lack pertinent intelligence. The natives may choose to attack regardless of any show of strength on our part. The Ammonin, though they may be savages, are far from ignorant. We have no way of knowing how many there are or how many blasters they may have in their possession. And we may find, sirs, that the cliff at our backs is a mixed blessing. While it protects our backs, it also blocks any opportunity for a retreat, should one be necessary.
Thank you, Lieutenant. I think it's time you checked on the sentries.
Yes, sir.
General, the idea of an Imperial infantry company having to retreat from a bunch of alien savages is ridiculous.
I hope that you're right. Finally, shortly before dawn, Sunburn allows himself to sleep. His slumber will be short. So they actually managed to sneak up on him using the cliffs.
Mm-hmm.
That is actually pretty impressive. Dunk. You want to voice the pilot?
What was...
Intruders! We're under attack! Patow, patow. Squad 5, at the ready. Sunba, what's going on? General, you should stay in cover until we know what this is about. Click.
Oh shit, they blew up the Juggernaut.
Yeah, that's a problem.
They blew up the most powerful vehicle they had.
Mm-hmm. What?
Decided to rejoin the living, Sunbur. The devils took out our communications. Smart. But then they hightailed it back to the jungle. Not so smart. We'll be ready for them next time.
The general?
He'll be fine, with some rest. Tough old bird. Might lose an eye, though. Don't worry, this situation is nothing that Commander Frickett and I can't handle. We'll see the company through, and you'll finally get to build that wall you were so keen on last night. Step to it, Lieutenant, sorry. Daylight is burning.
Yes, sir, Captain.
You're learning, Gay. Keep Sunbur on a short leash.
Showing the young captain the ropes, are we, Commander? Mind if I provide a lesson as well? Since you've put my best junior officer on a construction detail, Captain, I guess I'll have to send you on patrol. We have to know what the enemy is up to. No heroics now, but you know better than that, right, Captain? If you run into trouble, give a shout and head back to the camp on the double. The look of dread on this guy's face.
What? I have to do my job. Horrifying. And he can't question it because it's superior officer. Makes her.
Alright, you want to voice the stormtrooper?
Sure thing. Why not? Captain Gage's patrol is under attack.
Sunburn knows that quick action is called for. One juggernaut is still operational.
Help!
Spow! Good shooting, Lieutenant. They're on the run.
What about the rest of your men? Gage, answer me! What's the enemy's strength? How many are they?
That many.
That's a lot of dudes. Oh boy, I sure do hope our protagonists can make it out of this situation alive, but I do not have high hopes.
Well, that is a good way to start off the story here, that's for sure. Siege says, well, they are in deep shit, but at least they are building a wall. He also says to Urus, absolutely. Staying put is just stupid. They are guerrilla fighters and have caught these guys in a remote location. Time to bug out fast. The rest of this will be how bad it gets before sanity takes over. Oh, snap, called it. Yeah, I don't think running away is much of an option anymore at this stage.
I know what I would have done in this situation. Flamethrowers.
Yes. I will give credit where credit is due. At least on these planes, these guys are going to have a harder time. Although it's not impossible, as we've seen from them just scaling the cliffs.
Mm-hmm.
But at least with this being the open plains, assuming you can get a proper defense position set up, they're not just going to be able to sneak up on you the way they were on the jungles quite. Urus says, shit, the transport turned into a rice cooker. Everyone inside is now crispy. Fuck, the two incompetent ones are now in charge. I recommend a tactical advance to anywhere else but here.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the other hand, now that they are already surrounded, like I said, there's not much of an option for that anymore. So your best bet is to hunker down and hold the line for as long as possible, with the hope that you can get communications up or something. Siege has called it. Where it says war crime engine engaged, and as always, a good comic takes half an hour, a bad comic takes half a night. Yeah. Siege says, sort of started building after seeing the outpost, but no. I think the... yeah, that is true. Then again, assuming that this is going to be a drawn-out battle, you probably... there is something to be said about the men having to be essentially up all night and day fighting, and that amount of endurance could be an issue as well. So, both have their ups and downs, but yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards they should have built the wall earlier. But, I want to see the next issue, because I kind of do.
Sure, let's go.
Alright, let's go ahead and see what happens next issue. Abonin Attack. To the Last Man, Part 2 of 3. It's one of those moments that burns itself into the memory. In rapid succession, the men in the General Zeering's company experience shock, bewilderment, and fear. It is a sight that numbs the responses and drives Academy-learned lessons from officers' minds. For a moment, or an age, nothing happens. The Empire's best and brightest just stand and stare. Okay, this is not quite the good position I thought it might... the open position I thought it might be, because... yeah, they've got some woods, maybe 30 yards away? That's not exactly ideal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that could be a big problem right there. Siege says should have started... or it says this would have been done right if they hadn't put Commander Crump... if they hadn't pulled Commander Crump from the mission. And then...
Nope. To the wall! To the wall! Swing the juggernaut around. Forward guns cover north. The roof turret will cover west and south. When faced with a superior force... Close that gap, Sergeant. Move your squad left.
Commander? Sir, you've got to get a hold of yourself. You can't let the men see you like this.
Offensive may carry the day.
Sir?
Fire!
It's madness, but Sunbar seems to be the only one to realize it. The aliens are at the extreme edge of a blaster rifle's effective range. Shooting at them is a futile gesture at best. A waste of precious ammunition at worst. Let me up. I have to see what's going on. All right, you want to voice these two?
Oh, right, the doctors. Right. Easy, General. We're at a critical juncture in the procedure. If you move now, you'll lose vision in that eye, sir.
I'd rather lose the eye than my command. What's going on? What's all that shooting?
Attack! Over the wall! Shoot them! Show them what we're made of!
This is not the time to launch a charge. Ugh.
No,
Oh my stars. No, stop! Not the wall! Captain Gage, help me. We've got to stop this attack.
Commander Frickett knows what he's doing, Sanba. It's basic academy. Meet offensive with offensive.
But, sir, the Eminem didn't attack. They only showed themselves to draw us out from our defenses. It's a trap! Exactly!
Wow. He really failed to notice one of the most ancient, well-known strategies of war. A
An
feigned
ambush.
retreat.
Yep, followed by an ambush.
Also, you're doing the thing again. I think I know why. Hold on, let me just check.
Alright, can you hear me?
Yeah, and if it's on your end, it's probably working, but I don't know. Well, we'll see, I hope.
Alright. You sound fine over here, so.
Yeah, good. Right. What? They're attacking on our flanks! Rally on me! No! Hold back!
And he's dead.
He died as he lived. As a fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm. Gunners, report.
The enemy's too close. They're underneath our fields of fire. We can't target them.
Where's Commander Frickett? What are his orders?
Captain!
Captain Bex! Captain, do you read me?
I'm pretty sure those are supposed to be blaster resistant. So I don't know if that would actually technically work, but oh well, I'm not going to think about it too much.
I tried to stop him, General. I told Frickett what I'd seen on my... Oh, wait, no, that's the captain.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the captain.
Yeah, that is him. I tried to stop him, General. I told Frickett what I'd seen on my patrol.
Sunburn listens to gauge his lies with dismay. There is nothing he can do. To gainsay a superior officer is career suicide.
That an attack was madness, but the commander wouldn't listen to me. This all could have been avoided if Commander Frickett had listened to my suggestion.
Which was...
Sir?
Fortunately, some officers are smarter than others. What suggestion did you make that Commander Frickett ignored? Never mind, Gage. Get me a complete status report. Force readiness, casualty lists, a supply inventory, the works. Have it ready for me in 10 minutes. The rest of you, see to the wounded and form those capable into new squads. Everyone fights, including mechanics and technicians. Lieutenant Sunber, remain here for a moment. Sir? This is not the place where I wanted to end my career. My plan was to retire, to get a quiet little place out, aside with a corporate hub, spend time with my wife and grandchildren, and die in my sleep, many years from now. But that isn't going to happen. We're in dire straits now, son. We've lost more than half our fighting strength, including officers, and we're facing a hostile force that outnumbers us many times over. Yet it seems my remaining senior officers still can't think of anything beyond currying favor and chasing promotions. What would you do, Lieutenant? Me, sir? Well, sir, at the academy, they taught us when faced with an overwhelming force, one should look for an opportunity to retreat and rejoin the main Imperial lines. If that's not possible, you dig in and hold at your current position until reinforcements arrive. Not much chance of that now, is there? That's the Academy's answer. The armchair generals who came up with that plan aren't here. We are. What would you do, Sunbur, given our current situation? Sir, the Eminent are going to overrun our position and kill us all, no matter what we do. I would have us take as many of them with us as possible. Make them think twice about ever defying the Imperial authority again. I say we use Aminen's own tactic against them. Draw them in, subject them to overlapping fields of fire. We set up our walls and trenches like this. Tree-lit symbols, each nested into the next, all pointing towards a final redoubt. As the Aminin advance, the squad in the first trench falls back, covered by the squad in the second trench row, and we continue to fire on the enemy from the three sides. Each squad falls back in turn until we reach this redoubt, at which we build around the ATTE. We put it hull down, use its guns to pour every last bit of firepower we have into the enemy. We fight to the last man, if necessary. I think it will be. Good answer. Puts them into work, Captain. Yes, sir. So, yeah, that's not a bad plan for what it's worth. He's basically doing what Hannibal did at Cannae there, which is lure the enemy into the center and then attack them on the sides. So it's not a bad plan. Or it says everyone gets a blaster, you get a blaster, and you get a blaster. Promotion get. Though Sunbur can count on one hand the hours of sleep that he has had in the past 2 days, all weariness vanishes. Captain, a command rank in less than a year. If only his friends from home could see him now. As work progresses...
This time it's on my end. I can't hear anything.
Oh, you can't hear anything? I might have connection issues. We will see.
I am very, very certain it's on my end this time. It's registering as being on very, very low. What's it called? Bandwidth, whatever the fuck the term is.
Bandwidth?
Oh, I don't like computers.
Siege says, well, if you know it's a losing fight, make them pay the most possible for the victory. Yep. Alright, so I'll carry on here with the Alliance. As work progresses, Sunbur silently revels in his promotion. To see one's words translated instantly into action is a heady experience. Even Gage, thinly disguised jealousy doesn't faze him. It isn't until almost dawn that he realizes his good fortune is the result of another man's death. A sobering thought. You want to voice this guy?
What?
Are you able to hear us, Kalkyl? Are you able to hear us? Are you able to hear me, Kalkyl?
Barely.
All right. So I've made it to page. Let's see.
I think what page we're on.
Yeah, page 15. So I'll let you voice the guy talking to Sunbur.
I'm the fellow who is just there.
Yep.
Dix, which is a very good name.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyways, Captain Sunbur.
Oh, Dix, what is it?
Work's finished, sir. General Tearing wants to say a few words.
This is an excellent plan this is an excellent plan you've come up with, sir. But, if I may comment, Commander Frickett's regrettable death has left our command chain with a broken link. I think I would hearten the men to see that link restored. Oh, wait, no, that's the captain. Yeah, that's Captain Gage. That's your character. My bad.
Oh, you mean... Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. Wait, what?
All right. So I did accidentally read two of your lines. So you can either start from.
I can't hear you again.
Oh, you can either start with where Captain Gage starts speaking to the general, or you can start at after all.
This is an excellent plan.
No, yes.
Alright, good. This is an excellent plan you've come up with, sir. But if I may comment, Commander Frickett's regrettable death has left our command chain with a broken link. I think it would hearten the men to see that link restored. After all, you awarded Sunbur a captaincy. I think it only right and fair that I be promoted to fill the vacancy left by Commander Frickett's.
Thank you, Gage, but right now I'd rather have fewer officers and more soldiers. Good work, Captain Sunbur. All of you are to be commended. You've worked hard under extreme conditions. What you've done here could not have been accomplished better by twice your number. But our task is not yet complete. We still have to fight, every one of us. Many of us, perhaps all of us, will die. That, all too often, is a soldier's lot. But we will not go quietly. We will give the Ammonin a fight to remember. Even if they are victorious, we will make it a victory so costly that they dare not seek another. I command you to fight, and to fight bravely, but I do not ask you to fight without hope, for as long as we fight and support one another, there is a chance, however slim, that reinforcements will arrive in time. I do not expect it, but neither will I extinguish that hope. You've made this old warrior proud. Now it's time to make yourselves and those who fight beside you proud. Sir, thank you for those words, but it's time for you to move to the redoubt. Want the old man out of the way, eh? All right. It is your plan. Good luck, Captain. Are you all set, Kalkyl? Kalkyl, can you hear me?
What?
Can you hear me, Kalkyl? It seems Kalkyl's having more issues here.
Can I hear you? No.
Oh, well, I've been... Ura says, yeah, everything sounds fine on our end, I think. Yeah, I think Kalkyl's just
all I can hear are individual random vowel phones. I can't hear anything you're actually saying.
Well, I was asking if you can hear me. That's all I was asking.
Nope.
Alright,
Still can't hear. But I think I know where I am supposed to be reading, so I'll just do that.
Yep, okay.
You'll need all the luck you can get, Captain. As senior officer on site, I'm ordering you to the front.
You're right. Somebody has to command that position. It should be me. First squad on me. All duty is sacrifice. This time the price will be blood. Blast that, Gage. Trooper, tell Captain Gage that I'm ordering him to the second trench. Sir. Alright, do you want to voice the character on page 18? Oh, there you are.
My turn?
Yep. The junior officer on page 18, I think.
Like, I know what I'm supposed to read, if that's why you're asking.
Yeah. I'll just type that way, so that way he can...
Now I know that, yep. How long do you think it will be, sir?
Not long. When the sun is in our eyes, they'll attack. Everyone clear on what to do? Don't fire until my command. Don't waste ammunition shooting at targets you can't hit. The most dangerous moment will be when we fall back to the next trench. But if we keep our heads and stick with the plan, we have a good chance. Alright, I'll just do that. That should be able to get this done.
Awaken me from my slumber. No. Captain Gage? What are your orders? Here they come!
Wait for my command. Wait. Fire! Pour it on! Ugh! Make your move now, Sunbur. Get out of there. Thermal detonators, now! Holy crap! They're throwing a whole bunch of thermals at them. Oh, this is going to be glorious. Yep.
Is it my turn again?
Not quite. We're still on page... We're still on page 22. Good, man.
Yeah?
Oh, we're on page 22 right now.
What? Yeah, that's better. Mm-hmm. Actually, I can't see the page number anywhere, so I wouldn't know where.
Okay. Good man, prepare the E-webs, stand by to fire. What is Gage doing?
Fall back. Sir, what about our first squad? Retreat!
Prepare to fall back. The words catch in Sunbur's throat. Gage's cowardice has left them stranded. Doomed. Alright, so that's the end of the page there. That is an interesting way to end it, because it was a good plan until the captain screwed him over.
Because running away is always a great solution to your problems.
Yep, apparently. Siege says, lovely. Another reading coward. Yep. Uru says, yeah, everything sounds fine on our end, I think. Kalkyl, why not watch the video and have it with sound? At this point, you may need it. Uru says, lizard droidicas and crack grenades. Yep. So far, I'd say this issue has been pretty good.
I'd say so too. And two things, Oros. A, first and foremost, the stream is delayed by like half a minute. I can't really do that. And second of all, I can hear him fine now for some reason. So,
Cool, cool. So, you want to go ahead and finish this story arc?
I'm already ahead of you because I'm already there.
Yeah, this is probably going to be a case where we get 3 issues done in the time that it would take us to do a single High Republic issue. Because things are just going that well on this one. I really do want to see more. Siege says, even the best of plans can get messed up by an idiot. Yes, they can. Star Wars Empire, issue number 18. So let's go ahead and carry on where... Alright. The plan called for Captain Gage to hold the second trench line until Janek Sunber and his men in the first trench could fall back. But Gage's cowardice has once again jeopardized the lives of those under his command. Sunber's men looked to him for their orders. To order a retreat now, without support from Gage's squad, would expose them to the enemy's fire. Yet, with the enemy regrouping, where they stand is also deadly ground. Sunber feels the fear for his own life as a cold fist in the gut, but the responsibility for the lives of his men has set a fire in his brain. Something must be done. Some action must be taken, but rational thoughts seem as fleeting as a puff of smoke in a windstorm. Gage, what are you doing? Your squad is supposed to cover Sunber's retreat.
Sunber's plan is falling apart. We couldn't save him. There are too many Amanin. If we had stayed, we'd have been overrun.
Blast you, Gage!
Would have been overrun.
If he can throw the thermal detonator far enough, if the explosive can pierce the wrecked Juggernaut's armor, if the Dragonaut's fuel cells haven't been drained, if he can time the explosion with the Amanin's advance... you want to voice this guy, the junior officer, again?
Sir?
So many ifs, so many possibilities for failure, all outweighed by the certainty of death if an attempt is not made. Thunk, thump. Fall back! Fall back now! All right, so I think that's the captain there, Gage there. You want to voice him real quick?
That's not him, no.
All right. I'll voice the stormtrooper then. Who I think that is.
Yep.
They need it, General. We'll be able to cover their next retreat from here. Lucky for you, Sunber survived, Gage. If he hadn't, I'd have shot you myself. Now you can live long enough to die by an Amanin spear.
Ye-
All right.
What now, Captain Sunbur? We're out of detonators.
That's all right. They wouldn't fall for that trick again. We'll have to try something else. Well, here's what we do. They've seen us here. We're going to drop down as if we're getting into fighting positions. But we keep dropping down until we're out of sight. Then, Lieutenant, you take half the squad and make for the south end of the trench. I'll take the other half and go north. We'll hope that the Ammonin will attack the center, where they last saw us, and that General Ziering will bomb what we're doing. Excuse me. All right.
Sir.
Yeah, that's your character.
Sir. Son boss.
I see him. The boy's a natural. Stand by with the E-webs. Siege says, did that cuck just blame the guy in the front line? Someone relieve that dipshit of command. Yeah. To be fair, the general very nearly relieved him not only of command, but also of his head for that. Ura says, oh look, it's like Doom. If this was Warhammer, this man would have a leadership of fucking 1. Yeah. Tell them to target the center of the second trench. Now! Open fire! Hit them! Ambushing them with their own, using the trench to do it is a pretty ingenious move. I will give him that.
Mm-hmm.
And like we said, they are attacking the center, so that means this is playing out in a way similar to Cannae, where the Carthaginians just let the Romans get into the center and just pounced on them like that.
Yup.
Fire!
Well, that's not can't.
Fall back to the redoubt. Now this is different from Cannae because instead of surrounding the Ammonins and just destroying them, they are falling back. So, but still,
In that regard, this is more of a Rourke's Drift.
That this is. Move! Ugh! It is said of men in battle that the first involuntary emotion experienced at the sight of a comrade's death is relief that it wasn't they themselves who fell to the enemy's weapons. But for those who bear the weight of command, every soldier's death increases rather than lightens their burden. Sir, he's dead! Sunbur realizes that he never will know the fallen trooper's name. Whether the man was a clone, or, like himself, a recruit from some backwater world for whom the Imperial Academy offered a promise of adventure and a better life. Worse yet, he realizes that it doesn't matter. There are others in his service who yet live, who still require his leadership. You made it. I knew you were officer material the first time I laid eyes on you. Yes, sir.
General, the aliens are still coming.
Full power to the E-webs. All personnel, fire at will. The next part of the day, minutes, hours, passes in a blur. All Sunbur is aware of is the firing and reloading. Firing and reloading. Targets are never in short supply. At one point, somebody shouts, "For the Emperor," but the invocation rings hollow and forced. The shout is answered from somewhere down the line, surely one of the mechanics, with a sentiment that, any other day, would result in an immediate execution. But today it brings a shout in support. The men in this are for each other, and the Empire be fragged, and the spears begin to fall among them. but the deaths of their comrades, rather than inspiring fear or despair, fire the defenders with a fury to redouble their efforts. And when Sunber himself is hit, his first thought is that he will make the Amanen who did this pay. His resentment at being wounded enables him to ignore the pain that any other time would have driven him into unconsciousness. Ah! Then he sees something that drives away even the memory of pain. What, sir? General! Boy, you're hurt. It's nothing, sir, but you... When was the general hit? Why hadn't he noticed? Leave it. There's nothing to be done about this. Nonsense. I can... Gage, are you wounded? Captain? Gage! Forget about him. Forget about me. You have the company to save, Commander. You've made me proud. On my best day, I couldn't have matched what you've done. Don't let this be the last. Show those aliens what we're made of. All duty is sacrifice, but now Sunber wonders if he has anything left to give. This promotion brings Sunber no elation, no boost to his morale or ego. This time there is only the dread weight of responsibility, a cold certainty that every man will die if he does not fulfill his duty. Fight! Fight! The enemy has killed our general, killed our friends and comrades. If this is to be the day that we also die, let us burn our last moments into their memories. Let us put up a fight worthy of legend, worthy of their fear. The men are aware the words Sunber shouts are not the words of an Imperial officer, not the words learned at any academy, but words from his heart. They fight. Alright, you want to voice this junior officer again?
To be fair, I think that's a different junior officer, but it's fine. Oh no, it's that guy, never mind, no. Or is it? It's fine, I'll do that one. They've stopped.
Medic, see to the wounded. Do you know anything about medicine? I'm trained. Alright, so yeah, go ahead and voice this guy.
I'm trained in battlefield first aid.
Good. Assist the medic. See to the wounded. The rest of you, gather as many weapons as you can find. Consolidate your power cells and ammunition. No telling when they might attack again.
Sir, look.
Hold your fire. I am Commander Sunber of the Imperial Infantry. If you have come to discuss surrender,
You honor us with your valor.
What? The cracked, ancient voice reminds Sunber of rending metal, but the words are as clear as they are unexpected.
In all my long memory, no outsiders have crossed the sacred borders of our land, except that they have fallen in combat.
Sacred borders? But the rock, the carved stone.
But you still stand. You have proved yourself in Turkey, a ritual battle. You are worthy of a peace with my people. Listen to what we offer as a symbol of that peace.
Carada, 4 weeks later. The Imperial machine the Imperial machine continues to turn out new troops, new expressions of the Emperor's will. Though whispers of doubt are sometimes heard in the secret places within the Academy, and though seeds of rebellion have begun to take root in the hearts of some under the Imperial banner, outwardly this bastion remains a gleaming paragon of the Emperor's might and of the Empire's stability and might. But if the base itself appears to be the same as ever, Sunba can't escape the fact that he himself has changed since he last walked these corridors.
Sir.
Sir?
Sir.
And not all of the changes have been external.
What's next? No. No, you go.
All right. The report from Muradin, sir. Is Lieutenant... All right, yeah, that's your character.
Right. Is Lieutenant Janik Sunber present?
Commander Sunba reporting as ordered, sir.
You can do it again.
Ah, yes. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. According to the reports, the action on Muradin resulted in the loss of nearly 90% of your company, to say nothing of the civilian casualties. Sir, my company was outnumbered 10-1, yet we still managed to prevail. The civilians were killed before we arrived on the...
Relax.
All right.
Relax, Lieutenant. This is merely a board of review, not a disciplinary tribunal. Your actions in the battle appear to have been appropriate and necessitated by the situation. The loss of General Deering is regrettable, but it is offset by the favorable agreement you worked out with the native chief to turn over to the Empire slave laborers, all captives his tribe takes from other tribes. From all reports of the action, things certainly could have turned out worse. Then the Empire can always use more slaves. Very commendable.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
However, there is one aspect of our report that has raised more than a few eyebrows. You signed your report indicating your rank as commander. While it is understandably expedient, Lieutenant Sunber, to inflate one's rank when dealing with savage natives,
one should not presume to do so in an official report. Sir, that rank was bestowed upon me by General Deering, a field promotion. Lieutenant, put yourself in our position. General Deering left no record of these supposed field promotions. There is no corroborating report from any other ranking officer present. This board cannot validate any promotion solely on the word of the recipient. You will surrender your commander's badge before leaving this board.
But in light of your actions on Mardwin and the resulting settlement with the native population, we're appending a special commendation to your file. That is all, Lieutenant.
Gage, he should have guessed. Gage is the only one who could have validated his promotion, and also the only one who wouldn't. Back to junior grade officer. A step backward, but not a loss. He has been through fire and emerged alive, tempered by his experiences. He will take what he has learned and turn it to his advantage in his next post. Rank will come in its own time, but he's already had something that Gage never will. The knowledge that all duty is sacrifice, and that something that sacrifice provides, and that sometimes that sacrifice provides its own reward. End. So that was the end of that comic. So thoughts on that one?
A brilliant execution. Brilliant finish.
Agreed. This is a really, really well done comic. It sets up the plot twist pretty well. The plot twist is something that you kind of would see coming, but but they told the story so well that it's just a blast to read.
Mm-hmm.
This is what good writing looks like. And I'm talking specifically to Disney and to everyone else who has gotten a hold of Star Wars these days. This here is what good writing looks like. It does not look like the High Republic.
No, because it doesn't try to overcomplicate the story by adding a bunch of pointless elements that ultimately detract from the main story, which is about the protagonist and his struggle with the other commanders in the field. It is not actually really about being attacked by the planetary natives at all.
Yeah. And even then, even if you consider that the actual battle plans themselves are a side story to him having to deal with incompetent superiors, the side element is still extremely well done and extremely thought out.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear that it's made by people that just know how things work, which is at the end of the day is I think one of the biggest failings in High Republic is the fact that most of the people that are writing High Republic do not know anything about the lore. They don't really know anything about, basic battle tactics, which are kind of a big deal in a setting called Star Wars. And so, yeah, this is an example of why the old EU lore is generally significantly better than what we get nowadays. Siege says, nice to know our old rebel heroes fought capable enemies. Yep. Yeah, this also proves that the Empire is not actually a pushover. Unlike what they've done and unlike what Disney tries to do with Star Wars Empire.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like portraying your enemies as competent and an actual threat makes them actually threatening. Oh, and also, not making the fucking way you defeat them a complete and utter fucking happenstance purely brought on by luck and bullshittery.
Mm-hmm. I like how they even set up that he had to improvise by using the wrecked Juggernaut to actually facilitate his fall back because Captain Gage wasn't going to help him.
Mm-hmm.
The fact they set that up first, that's another case of good writing where he's using the remaining Hulk there to actually cause an chain reaction to allow him to fall back. That is some really good writing.
Mm-hmm.
Siege says, these characters function like characters in that setting and act and react accordingly. Yes. But yeah, is there anything else you have to add with regards to this?
Feigned retreats, fellows. Remember, feigned retreats.
Yes. And also, keep in mind, this comic we've finished 3 different comic book issues in less than an hour and a half. There have been single issues from High Republic that have taken longer to finish than these 3 issues combined.
Mm-hmm. Because it takes a lot of time when every single thing that the comic does is a failure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is a case of what really. I don't really think there's a whole lot more to be said. This is exactly how to do a Star Wars comic, and that's one more thing I do have to say is with regards to the new lore, the new canon. When you make the bad guys incompetent in a case where the good guys are still supposed to lose, like in The Last Jedi. The only way you can actually pull that off is by making the good guys even more blatantly incompetent. Again, like in The Last Jedi.
But what's the saying again? If you're stupid, you can't write someone smarter than yourself. So the only way you can write smart characters is to make smart characters stupid, and the stupider characters even stupider.
I still can't believe that they made the Republic so impotent that in the new lore that they had to rely on the Resistance to fight the First Order. So they had to rely on a rebel force of sorts that is tied to the Republic, but also not an official part of the Republic to fight remnants of the Empire that are apparently so incompetent that they need a beacon to know which way is up. I'm just going to... Just the sheer level of ways that the new canon does not work is astounding, but I digress. Siege says, the world building is consistent, tasty. Yes. So I think, like I said, we're in a good position to go ahead and call it. I think I've said all that needs to be said, and I think Kalkyl said all that needs to be said on his end. So, anything else you'd like to add?
Nope, just famed retreats.
Yep. So yeah, I think we'll go ahead and call it. So yeah, this has been Ace.
And this has been Kalkyl.
Thank you for being on.
Thank you for hosting me, I guess. No, well, that's not the right term, but...
Yeah, you're welcome. And we, of course, hope to see you all again soon. Until then, take care. Ace out.